The Padres never led last night until the final pitch of the game. Everett Cabrera's walk-off grand slam was the fourth in Padres history and the first in 6 years. Rookie Matt Latos has won 3 consecutive starts and has gone 7 innings in each of his last 2 starts. It's a Hall of Fame weekend at Petco Park. Ricky Henderson last night, and tonight former Padres manager Dick Williams. Cooperstown comes to you. A big Saturday night planned here at Petco Park for Game 3 of this series between the New York Mets and the San Diego Padres. We welcome you into the broadcast booth with Mark Neely and Tony Gwynn. What on vacation for the rest of the homestand. What a dramatic win in the 9th inning last night for the Padres, Tony. And much has been made about the Mets and their injuries primarily to position players, but it's their pitching that has been scuffling this month.
Yeah, this month, I mean, they just haven't been able to get it done. You see, they have the highest ERA in the month of August, even though we've only played 7 games. 2-5 record. The bullpen has really struggled. They've blown 5 of those 7 games, and you know, this is a team that was supposed to contend for the National League East. And yes, injuries are part of it, but just right now they're just not getting it done. Not getting it done at all.
Yeah, Lato's making the start for the Padres tonight. And it's funny. It's kind of like this guy's been around forever. Now everybody's accepted him as doing what he's doing on the mound.
That's because, to me, that's because he's been impressive. His last start especially, you see, since the All-Star break, he's got 3 wins. And in those 3 wins, I thought his last win was particularly impressive because he got hit pretty hard the first couple innings by the Atlanta Braves, and he came back and he started changing speeds, mixing in his curveball and his changeup. And you know what? This kid gets it, I think. I mean, early on, we've only seen him in 4 starts, but he is impressive. He's throwing the ball really well.
And the pitching matchup for tonight for the New York Mets, it is Bobby Parnell, who will make his first major league start. He's made 54 relief appearances this season. Though he has been a starter before in the minor leagues, Parnell starts in place of Mike Pelfrey, who is with his wife for the birth of their child. And it is Matt Latos, who has beaten Washington, Cincinnati, and Atlanta in his last 3 starts. That's tonight's Union Tribune pitching matchup. Go beyond the game. Go to Padres.uniontrib.com. It is Game 3 of a 4-game series between the Mets and Padres. Lineups in the first pitch are straight ahead. at Jerry Manuel's Mets lineup. And as Angel Pagan leading off at center field with Cora playing shortstop. Then David Wright in the 3-spot. Murphy batting cleanup. Frank Cora, Sullivan, Tatis, Schneider, and the pitcher Parnell. And Matt Latos making the start for San Diego.
Matt making his 5th start. You see the record, 3-1. Opponent's hitting $190. He's been impressive.
First pitch down and away. We are underway. A few minutes tardy. At 7:09, so 4 minutes late. Hope you had a chance to see the coverage of Dick Williams' induction into the Padres Hall of Fame on the How to Do the pregame show. 71 degrees at game time. Average over 300 for Pagan. 321 from this side of the plate, left-handed. Padres have beaten the Mets 7 consecutive times here at Petco Park. That's dating back to August 22nd of 2007.
Yeah, it's really been uncanny.
Towards first, backhanded, and Adrian takes it himself. Nice play to begin this game. 3 unassisted. And speaking of defense, here's the Padre defense tonight with Blank, Squint, and Venable in the outfield. Headley getting the start at third base tonight, his 20th career game at third, 17th start at the hot corner. McCool's on the bench.
McCool's getting a night, and Buddy Black coming to the ballpark every day now with some tough decisions. Got some guys swinging the bat. Venable swinging the bat. You know, Headley's doing a nice job. You get the 4-man rotation out in the outfield. Give Kuz a night off and keep Headley's bat in there at third base.
Strike with the outer half to Alex Cora. The Mets shortstop hitting .252. It's a high drive to right field, making a bid for his first home run of the season, and finds the Petco porch. First inning home run for Alex Cora, 1-0 New York.
Looked like a high changeup. He left it up in the zone. And Cora took a nice, easy swing. And see, yeah, that's a changeup. Hangs it on the inner half of the plate. Cora hits it to the shortest part of the park. And gets it out.
Sixth home run that Latos has allowed. First pitch strike to David Wright. First home run of the year for Alex Cora. His 35th career home run. .422 on base for David Wright, second best in the National League, trailing only Albert Pujols. His .330 average is third best in the National League. So don't let the drop in homers compared to last year fool you.
Yeah.
He's still swinging the bat pretty well.
Yes, sir. He's swinging the bat well. Hit 3 hits last night.
Fastball at 95 is high.
Again, we talked about this a little bit last night in that, you know, playing in a new ballpark. He's a guy that hits the ball the opposite way majority of the time. I mean, he's normally a guy that hits in the 4 or 5 hole. Usually in between Beltran and Delgado. So he's showing this year he can hit for an average. And he's a guy who can steal a base, too. So still one of the good young players.
Pops the 2-2 pitch up. And Eckstein calling for it. 2 down. Wright got a pretty good pitch to hit there on 2-2, but popped up.
Look at that last pitch. Fastball out over the plate. It looked like Alfonso wanted that ball in. But when you throw 96, 97 miles per hour, you can get away with making a mistake in the middle of the plate.
Cleanup hitter Daniel Murphy fouls it off.
And that's one of those conversations that my son and I have all the time now, because he asks questions about hitting styles and things, and you know, every night somebody's throwing 95 miles an hour.
Foul third base side, just behind the Mets dugout.
I would say 10 years ago, you know, you'd face the best guy, you know, usually once every 5 days, and the best guy was usually the guy that had good velocity, and the rest of them, you know, were all in the, you know, 90, 91, 92 range. And
high fastball strikes out Murphy. First K for Latos. Solo home run, though, for Cora, his first of the year, and the Mets get one. Padres up and up. It has Tony Gwynn Jr. leading off at center field. Then Eckstein, Adrian Gonzalez, Chase Headley hitting cleanup, then Venable, followed by Blanks, Alfonso Cabrera batting 8th. He comes in with an 8-game hitting streak, and Latos the pitcher 9th. First walk-off grand slam for Everett in just his second career home run last night. Tony leads off. First pitch strike from Bobby Parnell, making his first major league start after 54 relief appearances this year.
Yeah, you see the numbers, and all those numbers are as a reliever. And going into the rotation tonight, getting his first major league start. Fastball, slider. Fastball's going to be in the mid-90s. It'll be interesting to see how long he can go tonight.
His career high has been 3 innings in the big leagues. He has been a starter in the minor leagues, where he has pitched much longer than that. 7 innings has been his career long in the minor leagues. Up and away, 3-1. But I would think, Tony, they'd be really pleased with 3 or 4 innings here.
Yeah, I would think so too. And you know, when you've been coming out of the bullpen, you know, all year long, it's hard to ask for a lot. Hard to ask for, you know, 5 or 6 innings. And so right now, you know, I'm sure the Mets are going to watch him closely tonight. But you know, if you can get 3, 4 innings out of him, you're going to feel pretty good. I think Jerry Manuel would feel pretty good about that.
3-2 pitch sent down the line and left. Corey Sullivan sees it drop in the seats, and McMahon, who brought his glove, making the catch. That's why you bring it.
That's right. He was just kind of hanging down there, hoping a ball would come his way, and sure enough. Just kind of hanging out down there. Hey, got my ball?
And a leadoff walk to Gwynn. Here's the Mets defense tonight, brought to you by SD Storage, where $1 moves you in. Go to SDStorage.com to find a store near you today. The very versatile Fernando Tatis at second base. Can play first, second, third, short, and each corner outfield spot. He was the comeback player of the year last year, Major Leagues.
He had a heck of a year. And Jerry Manuel likes him because of his versatility, and he's getting a chance to use it again. Last night he started at second base. Tonight he's at second base.
I asked Tatis before last night's game, I said, how do you like playing second base? And he said, once you play third, everything else is a shorter throw on the infield.
I would think once you play third, everything else is easier.
That is inside to Eck. Even last night, 0 for 2. He walked once and was hit in the knee with a pitch. Tony diving back.
Before the ceremony tonight, Dick Williams' ceremony, I was kind of hanging out in the tunnel and talking with Randy Reddy, and he was beaming from ear to ear about the plate appearances the young guys had last night. I thought they did a heck of a job.
In for a strike, 1-2. Randy Reddy hasn't been the hitting coach all that long, but tell you what, the results have been very good, coincidentally or not, for this offense.
Yeah. We talked earlier about, knowing Randy like I do, I know he's going to try to simplify.
Jam Deck rolled softly to right. Had a little trouble getting it out of the mitt, but still plenty of time to get the out at first. And Tony down to second. Deck does advance the base runner. Does leave first base open for Adrian Gonzalez, and we'll see how Parnell and the Mets will work Adrian here in the first.
And for Parnell, he's got to remind himself he's the starter now. I'm sure as a reliever, this would be a situation, first base open. They probably would just put him on, so it might be kind of hard to be careful.
Adrian walked twice in last night's game, so he leads the National League with 87 walks. And ahead of the count here, 2-0.
That was a nice block by Snyder behind the plate on that breaking ball.
Ryan Schneider, the longtime Expo in the National, has been very sound defensively.
Yeah, see him just stick that glove out in front and let it bang off that chest protector.
You know. Does he get a green light, 3-0?
I think
right
he does.
Down the middle of the plate?
I think he does.
Just off the outside corner and a 4-pitch walk. Well, the second walk to the inning allowed by Parnell. We've been on for cleanup hitter Chase Headley playing third base tonight.
Let's see if Parnell can find the strike zone here. Let's see if he was pitching around Adrian.
That's away for ball one. RBI double last night for Headley. 39th run batted in. Wayne and Gonzalez on for Chase, the 1-0. A 95-mile-per-hour fastball fouled back.
Chase had a pretty good rip at that. Parnell, he gets that fastball up there pretty good, but thus far he hadn't shown anything other than a fastball.
You made an interesting comment in the top of the first, and you've made this before. And it sounds like in general there are better arms out there today than there were in your day.
I mean, velocity-wise, yeah.
More of them.
Yeah, there's like 4, 5, 6, 7 guys on each staff that throw 95 or better.
High fly left field. Sullivan angling into the corner and on the run, sliding catch, and the runners have to get back. Corey Sullivan in left field in fair territory in that left field corner. Took extra bases away there.
Yeah, you're in a long way for this ball. This ball slicing towards the line. You see, he's able to get over there and make a sliding catch. Both runners were halfway on this ball, so that's a nice play by Corey Sullivan.
Sullivan, who has been a center fielder a lot in his career with the Rockies. Over in left field tonight. He was last night for New York. Inside, ball one to Will Venable.
So, the discussion is, for me, you got to gear up for that fastball. I mean, when they throw that hard, it's really difficult to go up to the plate and look for the breaking ball or look for a changeup because you have to honor that fastball.
Shortstop Cora trying to keep Tony a little closer at second to pitch to the plate on the inside corner on the high inside edge. And Lance Barksdale, the plate umpire, calls it a strike.
I know Will Venable didn't like that call. I'm going to take a look. That's face mask high. That's under the letters. And normally they just don't call that a strike, and that's why it surprised him.
Whistled foul. Will in the ninth inning last night, an RBI double that scored Kyle Blanks. And that play at the plate. That's what tied the game, and then the game-winning hit from Cabrera later. 2 on, 2 outs, 1-0 Mets. And a home run in the top of the inning from Alex Cora, his first of the year. '24th pitch of the inning from Parnell, fouled away.
And that was only like the second breaking ball that we've seen here in the first inning.
Parnell's highest pitch count this season. And again, keep in mind, he's been exclusively reliever. 33. He's already at 24 here in the first inning. The Mets do know that they have Johan Santana pitching tomorrow. I would assume they anticipate it's going to go deep into the game.
And I think the Padres know.
Line into center field. That's a base hit. Gwynn coming around. Here comes the throw from Pagan. Well offline. RBI single for Venable, and it is 1-1.
Will Venable continues to swing the bat. I'm not even sure that this pitch he hit was a strike. Take a look. He wanted it in. Yeah, it's out over the plate. He slaps it in the middle. One hot base hit. And Pagan comes up and really makes a bad throw to home plate. And Murphy does a nice job of cutting that ball off. You see Snyder running towards the Padre dugout.
What Black said before the game about Will Venable, in general, his whole game has just picked up.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you know, I'm sure if you ask Will, he's going to say getting consistent at bats. So he's kind of found his rhythm, kind of found his stroke.
Since July 30th, 5 homers, 13 RBIs for Venable, hitting .412. With no big numbers.
And you got to like what you see. The young guys are scrapping, and that's what you like to see. They understand where they are, and they're getting an opportunity, and they're trying to make the most of it.
0-2 to Kyle Blanks. Fouled away. Well, Kyle last night scored the tying run thanks to Venable. Ball into the right field corner. The win is a double. And Brian Snyder brought the glove around, tagging the hand, but plate umpire Marvin Hudson called him out. Rolled to third, right steps on the bag for the force out, and that ends the inning. But Venable's RBI base hit gives him his 19th run batted in, and at the end of one for Petco Park, it is 1-1.
Off with a bang with Friday Fireworks. Enjoy a spectacular fireworks show following every Friday home game.
And the next one Friday, August 21st, after the Cardinal Padre game. Stay after the game for Friday Fireworks, presented by Padres Banking at Bank of America. Padres have yet to see the Cardinals this year. That's the only team left in the National League. They've yet to play this year. That seems weird since it's August 8th.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to see them, though.
Well, that's true. Cardinals won again today, beat the Pirates 5-3.
Oh, what a difference. Matt Holliday and Mark DeRosa making that lineup go along with Pujols.
And Frank Coor, the right fielder for the Mets, fouls it back. Solo home run in the first from Alex Cora. So Leto's 6 of the 8 runs he's now allowed in the big leagues have come via a home run ball. But all the home runs he's given up have been solo shots. Vancouver chased that one up high.
That's a changeup again. You see, Vancouver got a good look at it, but wasn't able to make contact. And
Latos, another one of those young guys who can bring it, I assume you're referring to. All those good young arms. Fastball fouled off.
The difference between, from a hitting perspective, from Latos and a Parnell, where Latos is straight over the top, downhill. You're going to get a good look at the baseball. That's a good breaking ball right there.
It's a second strikeout. Well, Latos, a good young arm, and of course you saw a very good young arm not only this year but the past few years. Steven Strasburg, who's pitching here April 3rd for the Aztecs against UC Davis. What's he got, 9 days left before the deadline to sign with Washington?
9 days. I'm sure negotiations will start soon because they've got until August 17th to sign, and if not, maybe I'll get him back from San Diego State next year. I'll take him. I hope he signs. I really do. I want people to see what I saw all year, which was, not only did he have velocity, but he could locate. And that's, you ask any pitcher up here at this level, and if you can locate, you're going to be able to get people out. And I just really believe he's going to be one of those guys who could have success.
3-0 to Corey Sullivan. There's the Padres waiting to sign also a Boris client. Ball 4 to Corey Sullivan. He was drafted 2 picks later after Strasburg.
I think Mr. Boris is going to be busy.
Yeah, he's got quite a few guys in that first
19
round
guys
still out there.
In that first round haven't signed, and 6 of them are his clients. So I'm sure he's burning up the phone lines as we speak.
There's Fernando Tatis, the second baseman. There's a strike call. Well, Tony, there are more guys who can throw hard. But what's the upper limits? I mean, can guys really throw harder?
When I played, is that guy who could throw 95, 96 miles per hour, that didn't happen very often. There weren't a whole lot of those. But the game is evolving. The players are bigger, they're stronger, they work out all the time now. And it's not going to surprise me to see, guys throwing 100 miles an hour. Or, seeing guys on different teams being able to throw 100 miles an hour. It's not going to surprise me.
Breaking ball outside and pitch at 100, meaning that kind of consistently be at that number instead of every once in a while hitting 100.
Exactly. I mean, guys at the big league level probably can, reach 97, 98 miles an hour, but they pitch at 94, 93. Mm-hmm. When they need to go get it, they can go get it. And there seems to be more of those guys. Now, whether they can locate and, pitch on both halves of the plate, that separates the very best in this league to the average guys in this league. The guys who are average are the guys that have trouble locating, and hitters are going to figure those guys out pretty quickly. But the thing about Latos so far, and I go back to the last start, was Atlanta was banging the fastball around pretty good in the first couple of innings. And then the second time around, he started mixing in his curveball, mixing in his changeup, and that's what you have to do.
Wave and a miss by Tatis. And that's now 3 strikeouts for Latos and 2 down in the inning.
You see Tatis late on that fastball. And so just watching him work his last couple of starts, you get the sense he kind of understands how he has to change speeds, how he has to work ahead, how he has to locate.
Catcher Snyder fouling it off.
And sure, he's given up some home runs, but if you're going to give them up, you give them up with nobody on. You give up the solo blast.
All home runs that he has allowed so far have been solo shots. And is it true that guys that throw hard are going to give those up? I mean, they supply a lot of the power a lot of times, huh?
Every now and then you're going to miss. And good hitters take advantage of misses. And pitching through was a changeup. He got it up and he got it in. Cora, he did what most hitters do when you get a mistake. You try to take advantage of it. And Cora hit it to the shortest part of the park, but got it out of the ballpark and gave the Mets a 1-0 lead.
Two down, top of the second. Corey Sullivan at first for the Mets. He's on the move. Throw by Alfonso, tailed a bit, but they do not get him. Angel Hernandez. As it Sullivan gets it safely, his third steal.
I think we're all dying to see the replay because the ball surely beat him there. Alfonso comes up and throws a bullet.
I don't know if he tagged him.
I don't think he tagged him. You see O'Sullivan. You see Sullivan dive to the inside. You see him dive to the inside, and I'm not sure if he was able to get the tag on. It's a nice ride by Corey Sullivan.
Ball and a strike on Snyder. You have first base open now. The pitcher due up next. Off-speed pitch low. Snyder started last night. It was 0 for 4. Lato's 2-1 pitch. Off speed again, down low.
Looks like he's trying to get Snyder to maybe chase something. Breaking ball and a changeup. First base is open. Your pitcher's on deck, like you said.
Pitcher on deck. And he is batting 1,000, though. He's 1 for 1. Parnell. And he indeed does walk Snyder. Second walk of the inning. To bring up Parnell. After the steal by Sullivan, nothing in the strike zone to Snyder. "35 pitches, not a great ratio for Latos. 19 strikes, 16 balls. Or anyway, now batting 1,000 in his career. Fastball, strike one.
Gonna go right at him.
You don't want to speed a pitcher's bat up, do you?
No, yeah, that's that. Yeah, and I only know from coaching. You sure don't. He's only got one at bat on the year. You don't want to speed his bat up. You're going to go right at him.
And after that swing, you got to keep throwing fastballs.
You take a look at how he's swinging the bat, and see, I wonder what it's like for the hitter, for the opposing pitcher, when one guy's throwing 95 to you, and then you go out and you throw 95 to the other. I mean, both of these guys have pretty good fastballs.
Makes quick work of Parnell, who now is batting .500. 2 walks, 2 men left on. Latos will get his turn. He's due up third in the bottom of the inning.
Second as we take on the St. Louis Cardinals and get your own Padres Go Green bag.
All fans get a free Padres Go Green bag presented by Cox Channel 4 San Diego. Get your tickets early and save. Go online to Padres.com. 1-1 game, last of the second, bottom 3 up for San Diego, and the catcher Eliezer Alfonso leads off. Alfonso takes a strike from Parnell. First start of the series for Fonzie. He went right in on the hands and breaks his bat.
Ran that fastball in on his fist. See, this is another new thing in baseball. I guess they have to have a backup ready. You know, some guys back in the day, they used to milk that. Go to the bat, grab a bat, see which one, put some pine tar on it. Not a bad boy, meet you half.
Got to keep the game sped up now.
Keep the game moving. He meet you halfway.
0-2 pitch. Fastball outside. Most number of bats you went through in a year was how many?
Early on, probably 2 dozen. 2 dozen. Most years, actually a dozen. I could get by on
a dozen?
Yeah.
Strike 3 on the outside corner. That's first strikeout for Parnell. That'll bring up Everett, who finished the night of baseball last night with the walk-off grand slam. And you made a great point. That was a pretty good pitch from K-Rod down there.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to get a ground ball, trying to get a strikeout. That pitch was damn.
Get a strikeout or get a ground ball off there.
Ground ball, exactly. And
not a ball hit out of the ballpark.
I'm still stunned. Just kind of laid the barrel on that ball and it got out of here and celebration began. Take a look at where this ball is. That ball is down and it's on the inner half of the plate.
He's out in front.
He's a little bit out in front.
High fly into the twilight left field. Corey Sullivan in the shortstop there. It's Cora who makes the catch. 2 away. Well, Parnell struck out on 3 fastballs In the top of the inning from Latos. Now Latos grabs the lumber and faces Parnell. At 95 mile per hour heat, strike one.
And the difference, Parnell's already got his first major league hit. Not looking for his.
And Latos has his. Baby! We're going to try to throw him out at first, and he beats it. And the throw was high from Francoeur. Did he round the bag? He did not. That's a base hit for Latos. He is on with a 2-out single.
He had to earn it. Jeff Francoeur was not giving in easily, and Murphy, he had to hustle back to first base. But you see, Latos lays on it, and Francoeur's charging, trying to get the out at first. And a good throw, it would have been close. You see, Latos realizes he's got to go.
So Latos gets his first major league hit.
So he's on the board. You can check off one of those things you have to do when you get to the big leagues. Okay, first
even as a pitcher.
Even as a pitcher.
Especially a National League pitcher.
First sacrifice, first base hit.
Scooped up by Snyder. Teddy walked and scored in the first. All the way. A ball and 2 strikes.
He likes that ball up. And he's going to get the ball down a little bit.
His foul left side.
I can tell you that's the thing he's been working on, is trying to take that ball out over the plate and take that ball to left field. But most teams like to crowd him. They like to try to get up under his knuckles.
Parnell's 2-2. Goes to a full count.
Oh, that last pitch really took off.
44 pitches for Parnell.
Take a look at his last. This ball really runs at the end. 96 miles an hour.
Latos will be on the move.
He's asking, is that last pitch a strike? And for me, I think that ball is up, but when a guy's throwing 96, 97 miles an hour, you ain't got time to be sitting there thinking.
Track said it was a little bit out.
It was up and out. The other trick young players will learn is that you try to foul it off. You know, if it's a ball and you're not sure, just try to foul it off and wait for the next one.
And Tony walks for a second time. Third walk issued by Parnell. He's trying to keep the 2-out rally going. After the 9-pitch plate appearance for Gwynn, it brings up David Eckstock.
That's a good AB. And the pitch count continues to climb.
Up to 47 for Parnell.
Fans at home are like me when you get a guy who's got some velocity. I like to see how much. What's he throwing? And that last pitch was 98.
0-2
with movement.
With movement, that's as key as the velocity, I would think.
Well, when a guy throws that hard and it's got movement, you have to commit. You can't just hope that you can react quick enough. Ooh, goodness.
Well, a game can't go by without Eck either being hit by a pitch or fouling one off his body, can it?
I know that. I'm not laughing at him. I'm just feeling for him because that was right off the ankle bone.
Left ankle.
Oof. Actually, that was a shin bone.
Mm.
And you got 30,000 in the stands.
Guy takes a lot of punishment. He's been hit 8 times this year. Tied with Coos with a team high. Got hit last night. Now back live. He pulls a foul.
And this guy, he's tough. That highlight package we had of him getting hit, I don't know if I was him, I don't know if I want to see that.
5'7", about 175 pounds. He takes inside. Last night, got hit right on the knee. That back knee. Hit by Oliver Perez in the 4th inning of last night's game.
He's trying not to rub it, but you feel for him.
Ground ball. Cora makes the shovel to Tatis. And the force play ends the inning. A couple of 2-out base runners. Padres strand both and have now left 4. And it's 1-1 at the end of 2.
Mets at 105 and receive a free Padres mini bat.
All kids 14 and younger receive a Padres mini bat presented by Cox Channel 4 San Diego. Visit Padres.com to get your tickets for the game tomorrow. Our pleasure to have, as part of the Hall of Fame weekend, Dick Williams in the booth.
Mark, my
pleasure to see you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations on the induction into the Padres Hall of Fame.
It's an honor. When the owner calls you personally, that really gets to you. I'll tell you that.
You mentioned that in your speech before the game, and Mr. Garfinkel called you, Mr. Morad, that group said, please come.
That was something. I've never had that happen before. I've had owners call me and tell you you're fired.
Well, great to have you here as part of the Hall of Fame weekend. I'm sure it's fun to get together with Tony and some of the old players that you managed over the years.
Absolutely. It's always good to see Tony. I see him maybe twice during the summer when he comes into Las Vegas with his ball club. He had quite a picture this year, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. We were just talking about him a couple of innings ago. And
did he sign yet?
Yeah, he's got like 8 days. They're starting to negotiate, so hopefully he will sign.
Well, he has Boros, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
He'll get it done.
I hope he does.
The guy leading off for the Mets here in the top of the third in this 1-1 game. Of course, 1984. Everybody likes to discuss the great season for the Padres and going to the World Series that year against the Detroit Tigers. But the series against the Cubs, and you made a great statement about coming back from Chicago, down 2 games, and the fans there in Mission Valley that were there at Jack Murphy when you got back.
They're the ones that got us going. I never looked at Templeton to see how emotional he could get because he was never that way. And he went ape over there, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
And he called everybody he could, and the fans were just fantastic. You're down 2-0. You look bad 2 days in a row in Chicago, and they brought
Lanks on the run, makes the catch in the corner. 1 down. Really was a turning point, believe it or not, for that.
As far as I'm concerned,
yeah,
I mean, we're playing good baseball all year long, but we were slaughtered in Chicago. And to come back, they have to win 1 out of 3, and we kick them 3 straight. It showed a little intensity on the fans' part, and, of course, our players. Garv had 1 good game in that series. He was everybody's hero. He had 1 good game, and it was a good game. But I talked to a few of the players on the Cubbies that still can't believe it. Rhino, I said, what'd you turn your back for on that ball that was hit to you? I think you hit it, didn't you?
Yeah.
And he hit a rope at Sandberg at second base, and he did a little dipstick there. He turned. And, of course, we got the break, the ball going through Duran's legs, but you make your own breaks. And,
well, this play right here is the most animated I ever saw you, Skip. This ball goes into right center field, and now I'm running around the bases, and Wiggs comes around third base, and at that point I'm going to third. And when I get to third, I look, who do I see on the ground waving to run in? It's the skipper.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that. My heavens. But you undressed him at second base.
I did.
And we were down 3-0 to the Cy Young winner that
Rick
year.
Sutcliffe.
Don't remember being down there, huh?
No. No.
On your stump?
No, I don't. And when I coached third for Mock, I used to be on my belly all the time.
Well, see, that's something that all the players remember because, the game was tied. We got the lead, and those were the go-ahead runs. And Skipper, everybody's jumping around and jumping and high-fiving and hugging everybody. But I pull in the third, and I'm high-fiving with Ozzie Virgil at third base, and I look in, and Skipper's on the ground, patting the ground. And the players loved that. They loved it.
Well, I loved all of them. We'd have our ups and downs and all that. My most memorable meeting was in Pittsburgh that year, I think.
Yeah.
And it lasted 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And nobody got it, I think, except maybe you and Templeton.
Care to give us the
clip notes on that? I can't tell you. Just had something to do with
nervousness.
Being loose.
Yeah, being loose.
We've gotten to this point playing loose. And you just can't do it when you're tight. Got to be loose. Dick put it another way. And, a few of us, we got it right away. And you talk about guys laughing in that clubhouse after they got it, because Tippy was kind of like our unofficial leader. He was going around telling everybody what Skipper meant.
It only took a couple minutes, huh?
Oh, yeah, it was real quick, real quick. I didn't like meetings anyway. And the guys know how to play, and if you're all on the same page and you're playing the proper way, you have no problem.
Well, the strikeout of Wright. Corey's at first with 2 down. Murphy takes a high strike. Well, you've said it a couple of times, and you said it today or tonight, that you don't think you can manage in this era. I mean,
he probably doesn't think I could either. I'm
an old school manager.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I yell at the TV now. But no, I couldn't. I'd like the money to try. It's a lot different than we were there.
Well, somebody asked Tony up here in the press box earlier tonight, said, what do you remember about Dick Williams? And the first thing he said was, he taught me the game.
Well, I learned from some pretty good people. I had already won an American League pennant at Boston, and I got let go in '69, and I went to work for Gene Mock. He's managing Montreal, and I learned more from him in 1 year than I had in quite a while. So you're always learning if you're into the game. And even Tony's coaching a great ball club now, and it's improved. He's still learning.
Yeah, it's true. The Skipper taught us. He taught not only us as a team, but I think he taught a community. You know how you play good old-fashioned baseball. You run every ball out. You prepare yourself. You give it your best effort every day.
If you can't beat them with your bat, you may beat them with your glove.
That's right.
If you can't beat them with your glove, you may beat them with your legs. So many different ways to win a ball game. A bunt may be the difference in winning. Moving a guy up, hitting behind the runner. There's somebody hitting the cutoff man.
1-2 pitch and the wave of the miss. Murphy strikes out, and Latos works around the 1-out single by Alex Cora. We'll keep Dick Williams for another half inning when we come back. One Mets and Padres. Adrian Gonzalez to lead off. But great to have Dick Williams in the booth with us tonight, part of the Hall of Fame weekend. He was inducted into the Padres Hall of Fame. Of course, part of Cooperstown as well, along with Tony. Great to visit with Rookie Henderson last night. We continue with Dick, who, of course, managed the '84 Padres to the World Series. You mentioned Steve Garvey had the good game in the right spot.
That's right, and it was an important spot. What do you go, 5 for 5?
4 for 5, I think it was.
And it's the only home run he hit to the opposite field
Yes,
that
exactly
year.
right.
Of his grand total of 8.
Yeah.
Off of Lee Smith.
But when that ball cleared the wall, the roar of the crowd, I can still hear it in my head.
Up the middle, and Adrian has a base hit. Leadoff single.
My youngest son, Mark, said he never heard a louder, and we were in Minneapolis a lot, got off a lot. We never heard a louder crowd than our last game when we beat the Cubs.
Not me either. I mean, the roar when that ball went out of the ballpark in Game 4. And you know, after Garvey hit the home run that night, people didn't leave. They sat in the stands for 30, 45 minutes after that game.
Strike to the outside corner to Headley. Garvey scored that one Game 4, even the series at 2 games apiece, and set the stage for the deciding 5th game.
You think he ate that up?
Yeah. I would have. I tell you that.
Yes, sir.
He got us to. You know, all we wanted was a chance, and he got us to Game 5.
And we're down 3-0 in that game.
Yep.
Headley sharply past David Wright into left field. Adrian down to second, and Chase singles, 2 on, nobody out in the San Diego 3rd inning.
A nice job of hitting there by Chase. Going the other way.
Figueroa gets up in the Mets bullpen. So the deciding 5th game in San Diego, and the clincher. The force out at second ends it. Is it always exciting to watch it?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Venable with an RBI single his first time up. Helps at foul right side. So you go to the World Series, and you had mentioned, I mean, you were part of the Impossible Dream team.
That was my
67 with the Red Sox.
First year as a Major League manager. And I had a lot of those kids that came up with me from Toronto, which was our AAA affiliate.
And of course, your years with Oakland and chance to go back to the World Series in 1984 with the Padres. And the fact that it was San Diego's first chance to go to the World Series, did that make it a little more special?
Anytime you get a chance to go to the World Series is special. I don't care how many times. The Yankees say that all the time. They strung out 5 in a row when Stengel was there, and then another 4 in a row. But it wasn't, they expected to be there.
Skipper, I had to ask you this question because I talk about this a lot. When we went to spring training that year, how good a club did you think we had?
Only one time I'd make a prediction. When Jack went out and got Nettles. They got him right at the start of the season. Mm-hmm. And we had Garvey from the previous year. Tempe took a bum rap because their favorite, Ozzie Smith, he wasn't going to sign with the Kroc family, and Templeton wasn't going to sign with the Cardinals, so it worked out well for both. And I saw Gary playing with bad legs every night. It'd be an hour before he left the clubhouse because he was icing his knees. I thought we were a good ball club. It depended on what our pitching did. Mm-hmm. We were going to defense them all right and score some runs, but it depended if we were going to give a lot of runs. Dravecki did a tremendous thing. Shaw, as crazy as he was, that son of a gun had great stuff. If he were still alive today, he'd still blame Carmelo Martinez for not catching Rose's ball.
Yeah. Well, it's just, that team, you had a completely new outfield.
Yep.
Carmelo Martinez was a first baseman going to play left. You moved Alan Wiggins, a left fielder, to second base.
Right.
And see, I never had the gumption to ask you how good a club you thought we were going to have, but from the players' standpoint, we thought we were going to be pretty good.
I thought with all the changes we made, and we had those 2 older guys, Goose and Nettles, talking baseball to the young kids, especially the young pitchers. Yeah. And I think it settled them down quite a bit. And they had a couple of beers and they talked baseball instead of going down that corner bar. Mm-hmm. I used to drop in there every now and then. Got everybody wouldn't go there anymore. So they're having a couple of beers in the clubhouse, and Goose was funny. Later on, he said, she won't let us have beer in the clubhouse, and she's poisoning the world with her hamburgers.
That's right.
And she was a nice lady. She didn't know anything about baseball, but she was going to sell the club, and then we won it, and she had to keep it.
Cal Blanks up after the infield fly rule. Venable popping out, and Blanks takes inside. Gonzalez and Headley on. Tied at 1 here in the third, visiting with Dick Williams, who was inducted tonight into the Padres Hall of Fame as part of the Hall of Fame weekend here at Petco Park. And that got him. And the hit by pitch will load the bases. Well, Dick, you may not remember this, but you guys were part of television, I'll just call it history, back in the early 80s. Let's see if you remember being part of this commercial.
Oh, here we go again.
We're madder than ever.
It's beautiful when you're mad.
You remember doing that?
I certainly do. I certainly do.
Taking a bite out of the bat?
We were, at that time, we were trying everything.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Jerry Manuel comes out, and they'll make a pitching change. You can stop by Discount Tire for a free tire inspection and air gauge. If you're not satisfied with one of their tires, please feel free to bring it back. Is in San Diego County. Our mission is your mission. The new hurler is Nelson Figueroa.
You see the numbers? High ERA, 6.75. He's coming off. I'm sorry, Mark. He's coming off a relief performance where he went 4 1/3 innings. Filling in for Jonathan East when he pulled his hamstring last week.
In air, its bases loaded, 1 out. And reaching, Alfonso flares it foul and into the seats. Dick Williams still with us. And way back when, did you know Tony would wind up being the kind of player that he wound up being?
Well, I know he got off to a good start. Listen, I only had Tony for, 3 years? And he just kept getting better and better at every part of his game. I'm talking defense as well as offense. But I picked up one of his bats one day, and if I'd have used a bat like that, this thing was, 33 inches long?
Yeah, 32 and a half inches.
32 and a half inches long, and it weighed about 28.
Yeah, 30
ounces?
Yeah, 30 on a good day.
30 on a good day. And he'd hold it at the end, and he could find a hole any place on the infield. If he wanted to pull a ball, he could pull a ball. But I think the way he played offensively, he had no holes. His teammates learned from him. He was just as dangerous with 2 strikes on him. In fact, he might be more dangerous with 2 strikes on him. And you could see, well, they've named that hole a 5-6 hole after him. And it was, I think I've told you this, it was a pleasure to be on the same club. He's one of my meal tickets.
Wave and a miss by Alfonso, who fans for the second out.
Skipper makes it seem like I was really great from the beginning, but I made mistakes, and I
think the only time you didn't hit 300 was your first year.
First year, yeah. And
because I didn't play you much.
No, that's not it at all. Skipper was hard. They were hard on us young guys because they wanted us to learn how to play the game right.
More so than on veterans.
Yeah.
Veterans are supposed to know it, and you tell them once, and that was it. But youngsters, we get on pretty good.
Yeah,
that was the old school way.
And it was great for me. I don't know about everybody else, but for me, I loved it because it forced you to think. It forced you to think the play out before it happened. And he wanted you to be prepared. He wanted you. One of the first ways I got Skipper's eye was we were in spring training, and Rod Carew hit a triple down the line in Yuma. And the relay throw got away from our third baseman, and I was there backing it up. And the very next day when we did cuts and relays in practice, Skipper brought me right out to the front and said, this young man, he was where he was supposed to be. And for us young guys, anytime that happened, anytime you got patted on the back, anytime they put their arm around you, it meant a lot. So, and I remember that like yesterday.
Do you remember that particular instance?
Not really, but I had, we had more than one player on our mind,
sure.
But I was a note taker, as Tony well knows, and anything that was positive or negative, I'd write down. And then I could, if I had to tell a guy personally or have a meeting on something, which I hated meetings, I used to put a thing up in the San Diego clubhouse, pluses and minuses. And anybody that had a lot of minuses, they didn't do things properly, but it was always ripped down. But Jack Kroll had another one to put back up.
Yeah.
And it was usually the guy that had the most minuses.
3-2 pitch with the bases loaded. He lays off ball 4. And that forces in Adrian with the go-ahead run. 2-1 Padres. And Cabrera gets his 20th RBI on a bases-loaded walk.
There were a bunch of minuses out there then, Tony.
Yeah.
We had men in first and second, didn't advance them. That's a minus.
Yep.
They had men in first and second, and they hit a guy. That's a minus. It's a plus for us. Yep. And then we have a strikeout. That's a minus, and then we get a base on ball.
Outside of the pitcher, Matt Latos. So pretty much anything that could happen on the field could be graded by you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Leave a runner on third, less than 2 outs.
Yep.
That's a minus.
And it was a plus if you got him in.
Got him in. The one that really, I think, ate him a little bit was 0-2 base hits.
Yeah.
Ooh, for pitchers,
yeah,
that
for
up.
pitchers, 0-2 base hits. And I used to be in right field, and somebody give up an 0-2 hit, and you just kind of cut your eyes into the dugout.
There's a minus.
That's a minus.
In at the knees again to Latos. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Padres have taken the lead on the bases-loaded walk to Cabrera. Latos, who got his first big league hit his last time up, takes a breaking ball, strike 3 to win the inning. As the Padres get the go-ahead run and leave the bases loaded. Dick Williams, thanks so much for stopping in.
Mark,
great to see
pleasure.
you.
Thank you very much. Tony,
Skipper, good to see you.
Always a pleasure. I'll be catching up with you.
All righty.
2 more Hall of Famers in the booth tonight. 2-1 Padres at the end of 3. question for tonight. Hey, name the 2 managers to lead 3 different franchises to the World Series. One ought to be pretty obvious. Well, let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
The answer a little bit later on. Top of the 4th inning. 2-1 San Diego. Jeff Francoeur, the right fielder, leads off for New York. First pitch fastball fouled off the basket of Alfonso. Shaking out the cobwebs.
Those poor guys. Foul balls, foul tips. Plays at the plate.
Being left-handed, I'm sure you never probably played back there, but you never had any kind of inclination to ever want to play as a catcher, did you?
No.
1-1. Foul back.
I did order a left-handed catcher's glove. I thought
Really?
that was pretty cool, yeah.
You had a left-handed catcher's glove?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a left-handed catcher's
yeah.
glove. I know they must exist. Fouled. Here comes Alfonso. That's going to be behind the dugout, though.
You know, I know a few people at the big league level. That man right there, Dan Worthen, has one. So,
Of course, he was a coach in the Padres organization in the
correct.
90s and then at the big leagues
Yep.
with the Padres for a couple of years in 96 and 97.
And a lot of times he'll go down there and just catch on the side.
Right back through the box and into center field. And Francoeur leads off the 4th with a base hit.
Francoeur stayed back on that off-speed pitch.
Tonight's comparison brought to you by Marvin K. Brown, San Diego's newest Mitsubishi dealer. Most career wins by a Padre manager. Ochi has the most, but Dick Williams is second with 337. Bud Black, who recently signed an extension for next year. Club option for the following year is on that list as well.
Yep, coming up on Greg Riddock's 200.
First pitch strike to Corey Sullivan. Sullivan has not seen many of those in this series. Walked in the 2nd inning tonight. The 0-1 pitch. That's way high at 94. Leadoff man on in the New York 4th inning. 2-1 San Diego in front. Pulls it foul. Down to the Mets bullpen.
Another one of those off-speed pitches up.
He throws it 61 pitches. Here with nobody out in the 4th inning.
Been locating the fastball pretty good all night, but it's the breaking ball and his changeup. Got a changeup up the Cora in the 1st inning, and he hit it out of the ballpark.
That's blasted towards the alley in right center field. Tony on the run, makes the catch, hurdles Venable, and gets the out. What a running grab by Gwynn in right center field, and then somehow avoided Will Venable.
That's a nice play. It looked like he had a bead on it from the time it left the bat, but you know, Venable comes diving in out of nowhere. And you see him catch it and hurdle over him. And that would be one of those plays where there's got to be some communication.
And you're happy neither one got hurt
Absolutely.
there. Tony taking extra bases away from Sullivan. Here's Fernando Tatis. Breaking ball is low. Will Venable watch the replay on the big screen. I don't think he really saw Tony at all. He dove for that ball like he was making an attempt to catch it, and then saw Tony fly over the top of him.
Just at the last second, saw Tony coming over to make the play.
Check. Blocked out in front of the plate. See if they ask for the appeal. No, says Randy Marsh at first base.
I don't need to see it. Guess I should look at it because I sure thought he went.
He held up.
Mud was here. He said if he did, it had been a double.
There's the 2-0 to Tatis. Ball 3 outside. So 65 pitches now from Latos. A 3-0 strike. Latos has fanned 6, which is a career high for him in the big leagues. Previous high had been 5 in 5 2/3 innings at Washington. 3-2.
And that's what I mean about having the good fastball. 3-1. It's obviously fastball count. Tatis is gearing up. Pretty much knows he's going to get the fastball. Gets it, and still late. Fouls it off to right field. I'm not saying that didn't used to happen, because it did, but more guys throwing harder on more teams.
And Vancouver standing up in safely. Vancouver run a little bit, 5 steals, a couple of times he's been caught. Full count with 1 out. See if they elect to start the runner. There goes Francoeur. Wave and a miss. Throw down to second. Got him. Strike him out. Throw him out. Double play. Alfonso gunning down Francoeur after the strikeout of Tatis. Eck putting the tag down. It's 2-1 San Diego. Trivia question. Two managers have led 3 different franchises to the World Series. Can you name them? Well, one is Dick Williams. The other is Bill McKechnie. Williams took the Red Sox in '67, the A's in '72 and '73, and, of course, the Padres in '84. McKechnie was back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Took the Pirates in '25, St. Louis in '28, Cardinals, that is. Reds in '39 and '40.
I'm getting half of that right.
Wynn leading off. Walked twice, scored once. Tony, by the way, playing his 200th career game tonight. Two and one. At the top of the Padres order, Gwynn, Eckstein, and Adrian Gonzalez. Padres have 2 runs on 4 hits. Mets a run on 3 hits. San Diego stranded 7 already. Mets have left 3.
The Pods have had some opportunities early.
Up the middle, but softly, and the one hopper cut off by the shortstop Cora, who cuts down Gwynn. And 1 away. Let's get to our Cabot Woodstein legendary performance. On this date, August 8th, back in 1964, Dick Williams hits his last home run. First baseman of the Red Sox. That was his 70th of his career. Headed off Fred Talbot in a 9-2 loss to the White Sox. Dick Williams' playing career, he played with the Brooklyn Dodgers beginning in 1951, Baltimore Orioles, Cleveland Indians, Kansas City A's, and the Boston Red Sox.
I thought it was interesting. He said that he learned more under Gene Mauch that 1 year.
That was interesting.
Dick was a stickler. He was a stickler for doing things the right way. And, veteran players sometimes got tired of hearing it every day, but we had a mixture of veterans and younger guys, and we used to hear it every day.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Eck has grounded to third and hit into an inning-ending fielder's choice. It's jammed, fights it off, floated towards right, and just out of reach of the second baseman, Tatis. A 1-out single for Eckstein.
It looked like Tatis was going to be able to run this ball down. Breaking ball in the middle of the plate, just off the end of his glove.
Could be a very big play because it puts a base runner on in front of Adrian with 1 out. Let's see how Figueroa approaches him. Ball 1, nowhere close. Walk in the first. He's league leading 88th of the season. He singled leading off the third and scored when he was forced in on the bases loaded walk to Cabrera. Infielders, the third baseman primarily, right playing way off the line.
Yeah, the Mets approaching this one not like a lot of clubs who put the shift on. Double play dip.
And the outfield is pretty much straight away.
And you would think that when that happens, it's going to be a definite game plan on how they're going to try to pitch Adrian. Normally when you have that shift, on like some clubs have. You know, you're going to try to get him, change speeds on him, get him to try to pull a ball.
Stays high, 3 balls and a strike.
The other kind of power like Adrian has, they don't do the expected, which means when you're behind in the count, a lot of times they don't just give in and throw you a fastball.
Certainly didn't get one there.
Again, a breaking ball. He took a lot off.
The pitch seemed like it took forever to get there.
Yeah, he took a lot off of this pitch. Took Adrian out in front, lines it right off that shin guard he's got on.
Nick Williams, one of the luxury suites, signing some autographs. Check swing, and he takes outside for his major league leading 89th walk of the season.
So again, Padres getting runners on, getting another opportunity.
The Padres left 2 men on in the first, 2 more in the second, left the bases loaded in the third. 2 aboard here in the fourth, and a breaking ball strike to the cleanup hitter Chase Headley. To left field, sinking down in front of Sullivan, and everybody advances 90 feet. Eck, the lead runner, stops at third. Manery into second, Headley a base hit, his second of the night, and the bases are loaded.
Headley, a nice job going the other way. Wanted that ball in, instead it's out over the plate. Tries to flatten the bat out and line it the other way.
Chase has been overshadowed a bit, but in his last 10 games, hitting over 420.
Oh yeah, I noticed. Really starting to swing the bat from both sides of the plate. But this guy's just been on fire.
Venable lines it, foul past third. Singled in a run in the first. Knocked out his last time.
That last pitch is a breaking ball, and you see him try to wait. He recognizes it just a little bit late. He tries to wait to hit that ball to left field.
All right, 1-2. Randy Jones, the Padres Hall of Famer. And that's hung on to. And a strikeout of Venable, 2 away.
The last pitch wasn't exactly where Snyder called for that. To come in under his knuckles and instead see that ball sail out over the plate.
Just off the outside corner to Kyle Blanks. Two and 0.
Kyle Blanks trying to be that guy, get that big hit and break this game open.
On the inner half, 2 balls and a strike.
And that last pitch, 84 miles an hour, so it wasn't his best heater. I think he just took a little off of that. And that was
Padres have hit grand slams of back-to-back games 3 times, but it's been since '91. Bases loaded here with 2 outs and a 2-2 from Figueroa to Kyle Blanks. He's got a piece of that off the end of the bat. Kyle in the first. Into an inning-ending fielder's choice. He was hit by a pitch in the third and strikes out here in the fourth. Padres leave him loaded, and through 4, San Diego has stranded 10. Mid-game recap brought to you by Murray Lampert Construction. When you're ready to remodel your home, call Murray Lampert Construction. Improving San Diego's homes since 1975. Log on to murraylampert.com. 5th inning, and the 8-9-1 hitters up for New York. And to have you with us tonight, Mark Neely with Tony Gwynn. Mark Grant still on assignment elsewhere, relaxing. That'll be back with us from Milwaukee on Tuesday on the road trip. Padres have had their chances, stranding 10 men on base through the first 4 innings. The most that the Padres have stranded in a game this year is 17. That was May 16th against the Reds, but that was a 16-inning game. Hit hard and deep towards right center field. Venable, though, back to the edge of the track. They'll haul that in.
When that ball left the bat, I thought that had a chance to get out of here. That ball out over the plate. He puts a pretty good swing on that ball.
The pitcher drew up Figueroa, and Jeremy Reed will bat at his spot. Latos knew that delivery to Schneider was not in the best of spots, pretty much right down the middle of the plate. And said, well, you know what? I got away with that one.
Matt Latos is lucky because his home ballpark is a ballpark where you use the middle of the diamond. You might could get away with a ball in the middle of the plate.
.73 pitches.
And it's great the communication between Alfonso and Latos. Him knowing he missed. And Alfonso letting him know he missed.
A little bit off that outside corner. The ball's in a strike. For the pinch hitter, Jeremy Reed. Reed pinch hit last night in the ninth and grounded out. Hits the breaking ball into center field. Pinch hit single for Jeremy Reed.
Reed stayed back on that breaking ball pretty good. Hadn't seen that pitch, but he was right on that ball. Hit it right back up the middle.
Top of the order, Angel Pagan began the game with a ground out to first. Hit in the third, flight out to the left fielder, Kyle Blanks. Well, with Latos at 75 pitches, they have talked about limiting his workload, I guess is the best way to put it. With the pitcher spot due up third in the bottom of the inning, I got a hunch this may be his last inning of work.
It just hasn't been as sharp this time out as last. He's got some balls in the middle of the plate. I would bet if you ask him, he's not going to be real happy with some of the change-ups that he's thrown. And like the one up in the first inning to Alex Cora, but much like last night when Correa didn't have his best stuff and he battled, that's what he's doing too. He's battling.
Foul down the left field sack. Well, as well as he has pitched, it's become a bit easy to forget. This is just his fifth major league start.
I know, you're right.
A tie, a ball, and 2 strikes.
You're right. For us, Padre guys, we already got him penciled in the rotation for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And he's still got a lot of things to learn, and he's getting on the job training.
High drive left field, sending Blanks back to the 3 or 4 steps from the track to make the catch. Besides the strikeouts, a lot of balls in the air tonight.
Yeah.
Like most of the outs that he has recorded the last few innings have been either strikeouts or fly ball outs. So here is Alex Cora, who began the scoring tonight as the second batter of the game. Homer to right, 357-foot home run to the short porch. His first home run since September 23rd of 2007. He had gone 480 plate appearances without a home run, the longest drought of his career. Foul up the first base side in the first inning. Is this an off-speed pitch?
Yeah, this is a little change-up. Left it on the inner half of the plate. It was catched by the fan. He took it to the short part of the park and gave the Mets an early 1-0 lead.
For his first home run of the year, his 17th RBI. Seems like there's been a Cora playing Major League Baseball every year that I can remember for a very long time now. His brother Joe. Now Alex carries the torch.
His brother Joey was a Padre. He was drafted in the first round by the Padres. Now is coaching the White Sox. With another former Padre, Ozzie Guillen, part of his staff.
Left field blinks right there. Latos gets through 5, allowing 1 run, 4 hits. He's due a third in the bottom of the inning.
This summer. What a great way to hear some great tunes, dance in the aisles. You've seen my act. Go check out the great food, too. When you join the Players Club, you get a free lobster buffet. Go to valleyviewcasino.com. Remember, free lobster buffet is waiting.
Bottom of the 5th inning. Bottom 3 coming up for the Padres. A couple of changes for the Mets. And the first is the new pitcher, Tim Redding.
These numbers 1 and 4. 6 ERA. And Redding pitched in the first game of this series.
First pitch swinging, Alfonso popped up and out into shallow left field. Caught by Alex Cora. Jeremy Reed stays in the game, goes into left field, and Sullivan, who was in left field, has moved to center, so Pagan is out. You have the pitcher batting at the top of the order, vacated by Pagan. Everett has popped to short, and then he walked with the bases loaded in the 3rd, forcing in the go-ahead run.
We'll see. Redding went the other night, won an inning. Gave up 3 hits and a run, an earned run.
The bunt up the third base side, and all they can do is watch that. Wow. You can't bunt a ball better than that, can you?
Sure can. And when they are sitting there thinking you're about to bunt, I mean, he deadened this one just perfect. See, he shows it and just deadens that ball right down the line. David Wright, nothing he could do is hope that it rolls foul. You pick it up.
Latos batting for himself here, so I think he is ticketed indeed to continue into the 6th. And he gets the bunt down. And in spite of Tatis, First sack bunt of the night, second career sack bunt for Latos.
Nice job by Latos getting that bunt down. He squares it up, puts it down in a good spot. Ryan Snyder jumps out of there and is able to make the play. And the Padres get an opportunity here with 2 outs.
Couple of walks, a run scored. His last at bat in the 4th grounded out to short. And leads off the breaking ball from running in the dirt. The outside part, 2 balls, no strikes.
The Cardinal rule is you don't get thrown out at third with 2 outs. Never make the first or third out at third base, but you know Cabrera's measuring out there. Good throwing arms out in the outfield.
Towards the right side and through. Around third, Cabrera, the throw by Francoeur, not in time. Or did he touch the plate? No, he didn't. He's called out. Lance Barksdale, the plate umpire, says he never touched home. And Cabrera called out, but Black comes out. Well, he certainly beat the throw. And the plate umpire never made a call until the catcher Snyder turned and tagged him and then called him out. Oh, the hand came right across it, the left hand.
Oh, man.
And Tony, I think what threw Lance Barksdale, the plate umpire, is the hand hits the catcher's leg and pops up. But no doubt it comes across the plate. Cabrera's left hand goes right across home plate, but he gets called out. You see his hand hit the leg and pop up, but he definitely got it back down to touch home plate.
Yeah. And you see his hand
and that
hit
angle,
there.
boom, no question. X sees the whole play right in front of him.
Look at that step in front of Cabrera.
And Bud gets thrown out. Third time he's been ejected this season. That was just a bit ago. So now we go into the top of the 6th.
It's a hard situation because you scored a run last night where he was clearly out. They called him safe. But this is, one-run game. You get a 2-out knock. 2-out knocks are like gold. But, yeah, that's clear. I mean, he's
looking right at it.
He's got a better view
than anybody.
Barksdale's got a better view than Hudson had last night.
It takes an RBI away from Tony and a run away from San Diego.
Well, we said last night that, somehow it seems like they kind of even out. This week we've had a few calls this week.
Heck positioned in the right spot and throws out David Wright. Padres have been able to keep Wright neutralized, so to speak, tonight. He had a 3-hit game last night, but 0 for 3 so far tonight. And I tell you what, the Petco Park fans are still letting Lance Barksdale hear about it.
Yeah. Just no question that Cabrera was able to get his hand on the plate. So
Gregerson up in the San Diego bullpen. Latos pitch count at 86, and Padres would like to get Latos through the 6th, and that sets up the Gregerson, Adams, Bells 7, 8, 9, which worked so well here in recent weeks. Well, Aku was on deck and would have been the following hitter. Was arguing with Lance Barksdale as well. That's towards center field. Hit pretty well, but Tony back there deep to break the catch. You can read X's lips, I promise you, that he touched the plate. They never change those calls, though, do they?
No, I haven't seen it.
I promise you, X says.
And that's what guys who don't argue that much. That's what they do. I mentioned it the other day when X9 hit the ball, whoever hit the ball, and they said it hit Anthony in the foot. When guys don't argue that much, that's the kind of thing you say. Look, I used to say, hey, I don't even argue that much, but
those guys would seem to have more credibility if they don't argue a lot. That's
exactly right.
If I'm saying something,
and nobody did anything that was out of the ordinary. They're just making their case. Is that Cabrera definitely pointed to the plate. He tapped the plate and let him know, hey, that's where I touched it.
Off the outside corner.
He's gonna hear it all night long now. Left Barksdale.
Rio pitch to Francoeur. Another 2-out walk. Padres would love to get one more out here from Latos. Get him through 6. Matt's gone 7 each of his last 2 starts, but he's at a pitch count now at 92. He faces left fielder Corey Sullivan, who's walked and flied to center.
Check this out. Latos 6'7". Now look, it gets on the mound so he can look at him in the eye. Let him know, hey, we need you to get through this inning. And X shown leadership a lot already. He stepped in between Cabrera and Barksdale on the last play.
95-mile-per-hour fastball is high.
Now he's trying to help talk Latos through this inning.
Big crowd here tonight on this Saturday. They're into every pitch now after that last call. That's Eck getting up and throwing out. Corey Sullivan, and Latos, without his best command tonight, goes 6 and has allowed just 1 run. Eck will lead off when we return to Petco Park. Part of the order up for the Padres. Near the bottom of the 6th inning, Tim Redding's first pitch is outside. Hank Adrian and Chase Headley. Hank with a base hit. Single to right his last time up in the 4th. Any call the plate umpire Lance Barksdale has that is a negative towards the Padres brings a chorus of boos from the Petco Park fans.
All shapes and sizes, all ages.
Right at the first baseman, Murphy. That lines out. Hey, here's tonight's Energy Resource Center Power Player answer. And the question was, which former Met served as Padres cleanup hitter in 2006, leading them to a division title? Piazza, Cameron, or Giles? And the answer, Mike Piazza. Adrian has reached base all 3 times. He's walked twice, singled once, and scored once. Behind that one, strike 1.
Like Adrian taking a shot at left field there. He's a little tardy.
One from Redding. Padres with 2 runs, 8 hits. Mets 1 run, 4 hits. Padres have stranded 11. Team record for a 9-inning game for men left on base is 17. That was back in May of 77 against Atlanta. Mets have stranded 5. Down the left field side foul.
Well, you just hope that they didn't come back to haunt the Pods. You know, not only having opportunities early in the game, but then when you clearly score a run and you don't get credit for it. You just hope that maybe they can add a couple of more here before we get to the end of the game. And that guy's disappointed.
That's the first strikeout for Redding, and 2 away in the 6th. Tim Redding bounced around, spent some time as a Padre.
Fastball, a little tail on it.
Part of the 05 season. Redding spent it with San Diego, made 9 appearances, 6 starts. Also a former Astro, Houston, his original organization. Had some time, very little time with the Yankees. Also the Washington Nationals. Gets it by Chase.
Change up. And Chase is swinging a bat pretty good tonight. A couple of knocks.
Has taken everything the other way. This time pulls the ball on the ground to first, and Murphy takes it himself. And for the first time tonight, the Padres go down in order. The end of 6, 2-1 San Diego. Ballpark and monthly Subway footlong feast. You can text Subway to 269-411 now for your chance to win. And tonight's question: will the Mets' record of 120 losses in a season ever be broken? A, yes. B, no. The Tigers came razor thin close not long ago, and then wound up in the World Series not long after that. New pitcher, Luke Gregerson.
Yeah, Luke Gregerson coming into what's looks like it's going to be his inning, the 7th. 0-3, 2.98 ERA. Last pitched against the Braves and had a tough outing.
Double switch for the Padres. Headley, who made the last out, is lifted. Kuz comes in. He'll bat in the 9 spot, so the new pitcher Gregerson is in the 4-hole vacated by Headley. This game moves into the 7th inning. 2-1 San Diego. Both teams scored a run in the first. Padres scored a run in the bottom of the 3rd on a bases loaded walk. The Bluebirds are back out. Fans booing the play at the plate. It looked like Cabrera scored the 3rd Padre run in the 5th, but then was called out by the plate umpire. Todd Black ejected in the ensuing argument. Bottom 3-4 New York. Tatis. High chopper to Kuz. 2 pitches, 1 out in the 7th.
Again, you have to tip your cap to the job Matt Latos did tonight. Give up that first inning home run, and it looked like, he wasn't as sharp as he normally is, but he battled. He gave him 6 strong innings and, got him to the bullpen. And he goes out of the game with a chance to win.
6 innings for Latos, a career high 7 Ks, 1 run, 4 hits allowed. And he walked 3. Low strike to Brian Schneider. Snyder with a walk in the second and in the fifth, fly to right. Nothing at 2.
Good little slider there by Gregerson. The Padres bullpen here, the last couple of outings has been sensational.
Inside and off the bin of Alfonso.
Like you said, Gregerson in the 7th, Adams in the 8th, and Bell in the 9th.
Breaking ball is high. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Brian Schneider. One out in the Mets' 7th inning, and Gregerson's 2-2. Rolled softly towards Eckstein. Eck charges and throws. 2 down. Follow the road to Wintersville to Sequan every Monday and Wednesday, now through August 12th, and win a share of over $500,000 in cash and hot new Corvettes. Ninth spot of the order, which is occupied by Reed, who came in as a pinch hitter in the top of the 5th, stayed in to play left field in the bottom half of that inning. He singled to center as the pinch hitter in the 5th inning. First pitch swinging. Bounced out to Cabrera. Gregerson sets him down in order. Venable blanks Alfonso, 2 up in the bottom half. Heineken, give yourself a good name. By Aflac, we've got you under our wing. And by the North County Transit District from North County, take the coaster train to every home game at Petco Park. Saturday night in San Diego, we roll through the 7th inning stretch. Big crowd here tonight. In fact, tonight, Scripps Clinic with a large group at the ballpark, over 12,000 fans. There's one foul at the third base side off the bat of Venable. 8th year in a row that 12,000 Scripps employees and their family members have gathered at a Padres game on a Saturday night. The white shirts, the Scripps employees and their families, largest single group event of the season here at Petco Park. And Scripps Clinic. Nice Saturday night crowd. Popped up and right into foul territory. Inning has 2 1/3 scoreless innings of relief. In fact, that bullpen's been very good. Figueroa an inning and 2/3 scoreless relief as well.
with the start of Bobby Parnell filling in for Pelfrey. They didn't get as deep as they would have liked him to get. And so now Jerry Mayer tries to piece it together. Boy, you're right. Bullpen's done a nice job, kept them in the game.
Kyle 0 for 2. And fouled that one off his leg up to the third baseman right.
It looked like he's, Kyle's swing, the way he swings the bat, that's the pitch that he's going to have to learn how to handle, is that sinker that's down and in. Right-handers try to run that sinker down and in and get him out over the plate. And be careful out on that outer half. As we've seen this homestand, he drove the ball into the beach in right center field.
6 home runs for Blanks, all since the All-Star break. Towards third and through. Blanks singles into left field.
And that's what happens when you get it up, when you elevate it. He got to that ball pretty easily. Up. Didn't get it in enough. Blanks is quick enough to get the barrel there and base it to left.
The 9th San Diego hit. And Kyle on for Alfonso. Hopped out to the shortstop, Cora, in the 5th inning. Prior to that, twice, Alfonso Fan, 0 for 3.
This might be a situation where Carl Blanks might be looking to maybe steal a base, get himself in a scoring position. But Tim Redding seems to be hip already. He's thrown over once, little slide step to the plate again.
Another slide step and a late break, and they easily throw out Blanks at second. The 2-6 caught stealing, 2 outs.
Just the way Alfonso was standing at the plate, I'm going to think that's a hit and run. Snyder does a nice job short hopping that ball and making a strong throw to second base.
Appeal, and he went. There's Randy Marsh.
The last pitch, I'm going to think that was hit and run, and somebody got their signals crossed.
Snyder throws to first to complete the strikeout. Redding has 3 innings of scoreless relief. At the end of 7, 2-1 San Diego. Check out FanDiego.com. For Ceiling fans, go to Fan Diego. Tonight's Fan Diego fans of the game. 35,184. Big crowd tonight on this Saturday night at Petco Park. 2-1 Padres in front. We move into the top of the 8th inning. And with the lead, that means it's time for Mike Adams.
You see the numbers, they're outstanding. 0-7-8, opponents 134. Last pitch last night, win an inning. A shutout inning. A couple of strikeouts. And for the Padres, you got to feel good when you have a lead and you get to this point, because the way Adams and Bell have pitched at the back end, you know, you feel like you got a good chance to win a ball game.
Feel a little bit better with an insurance run.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
the tying run isn't at the plate all the time. But
absolutely.
I don't want to jump on plate umpire Lance Barksdale like the other 35,000 in attendance.
You know what? I'm not going to jump on him either, because you know what? Last night they were behind all night long until the last batter came up to the plate.
Luis Castillo, pinch hitting, takes outside. Castillo injured himself coming down the dugout steps recently. Twisted an ankle, sprained an ankle. Strike in that low outside corner.
Castillo having a pretty good year this year. Hitting 297. He always was a guy that got on base a lot. Kind of a slap hitter. Can bunt. A lot of infield knocks.
An injury occurred on Tuesday. They're playing the Cardinals. 8th inning, he comes back to the dugout down the steps and sprained his left ankle. Got him looking. Castillo strikes out, one away in the 8th. Hey, Wednesday is officially free and easy at the Del Mar Racetrack. Diamond Club members enjoy free stretch run admission, free reserved seating, and a free program. Plus, enjoy half-price domestic draft beer, sodas, and hot dogs at select stretch run concessions. Alex Cora's home run in the first inning accounts for the only Mets run. I was trying to paint that low inside corner, just misses. Cora singled in the 3rd, lined out to left in the 5th, so he's had 3 very good at bats tonight. Making low 2-0.
I'm sure when Alex Cora signed with the Mets this offseason, he figured, you know, he'd get a, you know, maybe a spot start at second, and, you know, pick up Jose Reyes at short. I'm sure he had no idea. And not saying he doesn't like playing, because 258 at bats for him already this year.
Takes a strike.
But he's a professional. He's a professional. He's very professional. He can, you know, play third, play short, play second. Shows his leadership skills on this club, and especially now with the young guys getting an opportunity to play.
The most at bats he's had since the 04 season, back when he was with the Dodgers. Towering pop up on the right side, and that falls off Adrian. Two outs in the 8th. And it brings up David Wright with the bases empty, which is a good thing. Wright represents the tying run. And not the go-ahead run with somebody on base. He's popped out, struck out, and grounded out.
With David Wright, you say, okay, well, where's his power? Well, he's got power to all fields.
Two 2-0.
Most times when he's going to hurt you, it's going to be something, middle of the plate, and with that ball, he could go either way. He could pull it, or he could go the other way with it. Talked about this the other night. I mean, even if you don't want to pitch to him and you end up walking him, now he becomes a threat on the bases. 23 stolen bases.
All the way right side. With that stolen base total, he gets on base, steals second, a base hit.
Yep.
Brings in the tying run. And Murphy, the cleanup hitter, on deck. A left-handed hitter. 2-1 pitch. Rides inside, 3 balls and a strike. Well, you said it, if not tonight, it was last night. This is the guy you don't want to beat you.
Exactly.
So even if you put him on here, can't give in?
No, can't give in. This is not where you give in. Throw him a fastball.
High strike, 3-2.
Took a little bit off of this pitch. I don't know if that's a curveball that didn't do anything or a slider that didn't do anything. It stayed in the middle of the plate, but it took about 8 miles per hour off of that at 86.
2 outs, bases empty, and the Mets 8th, and Adams 3-2. Won't be made just yet. Now the payoff pitch to right. Towards short, Cabrera high, but Adrian stayed on the bag. Adams sets him down in order. 8-9-1 coming up for the Padres. When you paid the lowest price on your new furniture, that's Jerry's price. The best seat winners tonight enjoying this game. 2-1 Padres. The Mets bring in their 4th hurler of the game, right-hander Sean Green.
Sean Green 1-3, 4.96 ERA. He has pitched in this series, pitched the first game of this series, won an inning. Didn't give up any hits, any runs. Mets bullpen has done a nice job tonight.
Speaking of the bullpen, Cabrera leading off. It's a strike on the inside corner as he spun out of the way. Mike Adams with a scoreless inning at the top of the frame. Last 9 innings for Mike Adams. 9 innings, no runs. He's allowed 1 hit in the 9 innings, 1 walk, and 15 strikeouts.
Wow.
Adams has been filthy.
Yeah, he really
out of the
has.
bullpen.
He really has. He's taken to that 8th inning role very nicely.
Time given to Cabrera. Everett with a bunt base hit his last time up, and then later in the inning called out at the plate after the wind base hit to right. Wow, the Green missed a spot there.
Yeah, that's what you call a complete miss right there. Snyder sitting up on the outer edge, and this ball is inside on the other edge.
Slowly foul up the third base side. Stayed fair about a third of the way up the line. Well, our Coors Light freeze cam shows the play at the plate in the 5th. And Coors throw home, and Cabrera's left hand on the plate. And the continuation of the play called out.
Just nothing you can say about that. I mean,
That pretty much says it all.
Yeah, that picture said it all.
Red Black thrown out with the argument that occurred after that.
Back in the old days, Buddy would be in the tunnel with the walkie-talkie or giving hand signals to the other coaches.
Now at the plate. Well, that was bunt base hit of the 5th has given him a 9-game hitting streak. It was a career high for him. All 9 games of this homestand. Right on the ground and trying to backhand. Cora can't handle it. It's into left center field. That'll be an error on Alex Cora. And Cabrera reaches to begin the 8th inning. Well, they didn't get the insurance run in the 5th. Maybe this is the inning they can get back.
Cora thought that ball was going to come up. It didn't. And now Cabrera's on, and you know he's a threat. It's on that cat and mouse game. Let the cat and mouse game begin. Sean Green trying to hold Everett Cabrera for trying to get himself in scoring position.
Cruz batting for the first time tonight after coming in part of the double switch. Way outside from Green.
Cruz has got no sacrifices, and I don't expect him to. Cabrera trying to get a jump. Could be a huge run for the Padres if he can get himself around these bases.
Well, Cruz did not have a sac bunt last year either, so I think he's swinging away here. May not have to swing the bat. 3 balls, no strikes. A 4-pitch walk. And 2 are on with nobody out at the top of the order coming up.
Now that Padres have the runner in scoring position, let's see how they play this here. Anthony's pretty good.
I would think the bunt is a much more likely situation.
I would think so.
Walked a couple of times tonight, had a base hit in the 5th. That was the play that Cabrera was called out at the plate, so that took an RBI away from Tony. Right in on the grass at third, so is the first baseman Murphy. And he squares, and lets it foul back.
Bunt this ball to third base. Make David Wright field it. Kind of have to be careful though, because Kuz is at first. And this might be one of those plays where he might make a play at second.
Takes it high, a ball and a strike. An error and a walk. 2 on, nobody out in the San Diego 8th. Padres trying to add to a 1-run lead. Also trying to beat the Mets for an 8th straight time here at Petco Park. Bunted up the third base side. Great bunt. Schneider's only play at first. That ball hit the lip of the grass. Hopped over, stayed fair, and Tony with a second sac bunt as a Padre. And advances Cabrera and Kuz.
That's an excellent job there. He laid down a really good bunt. Flattens that bat out. It looked like it was going to go foul. It just stayed fair. Schneider comes out of the chute and makes the play. Nice job. So now the infield comes in. Outfield shallows up a little bit.
One is low to Eckstein. 1 for 4 night. His single was a base hit to right in the 4th. Into left field. It scores Cabrera. Kuz gets the stop sign at third, and wisely so. RBI single for Eck. There's an insurance run. It's 3-1 San Diego. '37th RBI for Eckstein.
There's another good at bat for Eckstein. He didn't waste any time either. Got himself a ball that he can handle, and he lines it in the left field for a base hit.
Eck knocking it through the left side to drive in Cabrera. Who's had to slam on the brakes. That's all for Green, and the Mets will make a pitching change. This pitching change brought to you by San Diego Harley-Davidson, where we are always country first. That is stabbed by Schneider. New pitcher is the lefty, Pedro Feliciano.
You see the numbers, 4-4, 307. Opponent's hitting 213. Last appeared against the Cardinals last week. In the third of an inning, gave up 3 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout.
Now the left field side right giving chase into the crowd. Pitching profile brought to you by your San Diego Hyundai dealers. Summer gas prices are rising. Lock in $1.49 a gallon at SanDiegoHyundaiDealers.com. And we'll take some memories home with him. Hopefully it's a winning memory. And hopefully that's a Padre fan.
I hope so.
With a winning memory. 1-1 to Adrian.
Feliciano's kind of a slinger. Fastball, slider. Not an overpowering fastball. 88, 89. Kind of that guy they bring in to get left-hand hitters out. You saw the opponent's batting average, 213. Been able to get both sides out, but they're right now having a little trouble seeing Brian Snyder's signs.
Got him, throw to third, and Cruz just gets back. It almost turned into a rare strikeout pickoff double play. And Cruz able to get the hand in.
It looked like David Wright tried to block the plate, to block third base, too. You see him drop that knee. Cruz went off, able to get up underneath it.
Padres are going to bat for Headley. With the straight right-handed hit, or I should say for the pitcher, was Salazar. And that draws the catcher Schneider out. Salazar's had some big hits in his limited time, and there might be something going on here with Feliciano as Gary Manuel now trots out as they've been buying some time. With the right-hander coming up, that will be all for the lefty Feliciano. You can stop by Discount Tire for a free tire inspection and air gauge, and if you're not satisfied, please feel free to bring it back. Visit SanDiegoHyundaiDealers.com. And 38-year-old Elmer descends, the new pitcher.
Elmer's pitched in this series, pitched in the first game of this series, won an inning, gave up a hit.
First pitch strike to the pinch hitter Salazar. Batting for Adams, who win an inning. Runners at the corners, 2 outs and a run into the San Diego 8th. Padres now with 10 hits.
Yeah, again. We talked about what a great job Salazar's done. Four hits and 3 RBIs in his last 8 pinch hit appearances. He's moved the ball around, too.
Pad off the outside corner from DeCinces. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, the next starter tonight was Bobby Parnell. He went 2 1/3 innings. It's then Figueroa, Redding, Green, now Feliciano faces 1 hitter in DeCinces, the 6th Mets pitcher of the game. Breaks his bat, rolled out to right, and a force out at second ends the inning. The Padres do get a run. It will be unearned. And a little insurance for Heath Bell. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Mets. Murphy, Francoeur, and Sullivan. And Heath coming on. Free reserve seating and a free program, plus half-price domestic draft beers, sodas, and hot dogs at select stretch run concessions. Here's the closer, Heath Bell.
4-1, 27 saves. Opponent's hitting a .190. And he's coming up. Trying to close this game out for Matt Latos.
An inning last night for Heath through the top of the 9th. 1 walk, no runs, no hits. Picked up the win. He's the beneficiary when the Padres got 5 in the bottom of the 9th to win 6-2. Cleanup hitter Daniel Murphy First baseman leading off. First pitch up high. Bluebirds have come back for plate umpire Lance Barksdale. I thought they had disappeared for the night. I stand corrected. This goes back to the play at the plate with Cabrera in the fifth. And there's a strike.
The way they've been doing it just seems like it happened last half inning.
Right in on him, softly behind second. Eck has to get it there in a hurry. And an infield hit for Daniel Murphy.
Pretty amazing there. Heath Bell makes a good pitch, breaks his bat, goes in the perfect spot. Eckstein does all he could. So he breaks his bat. Eckstein rounds that off, makes the throw. Just beats that.
Good call by first base umpire Randy Marsh. Close, but he beat it. Here's Jeff Francoeur representing the tying run. He singled in the fourth, walked in the sixth. 9 homers for Francoeur. Backhand, Kuz, Eck, Adrian. Wow. 5-4-3, 2 down in the ninth. It started with the backhand of Kuz at the hot corner.
A little finger point by Eck to Kuz. Nice play. This is not an easy play. On the short hop, the backhand. Strong throw to Eckstein, who's got to deal with Murphy bearing down on him. Perfect feed, comes across, perfect feed, double play. What a play.
Strike one to Corey Sullivan. Padres 2 strikes away from taking the first 3 games of this series, winning their 9th in their last 12 games. Left field, blanks, 3-1 Padres the final. And Heath saves his 28th game. And the Padres have taken the first 3 games of this 4-game